There. Now it's recording, and now let's check. What do you guys have for number 1?
Is.
Where is? Let me change
Where
the.
is, okay.
Where is?
Your family from originally?
Very good. What about number 2?
Are your parents?
Are.
Our number next
Was?
was number 4.
Where?
Where?
Very good. Perfect. Number 5.
Do.
Do you know?
I know.
Do know.
So next, number 6.
Does.
Does
Live.
Does.
live?
Next.
Spends.
Spends.
Spends. Next, number 8.
Do.
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 And doing.
And do.
What do? Okay. 9.
Did.
Did.
And get.
Get.
Okay. Next, number 10.
Did and
Go
go.
out.
And go out.
Go out.
Mhm.
7 are.
Are you doing?
What are you
Are
doing?
doing.
What are you doing?
Sorry. What are
Are
doing?
you
And doing.
Dame una cuchara, hija, por favor.
Number 12 are.
Are
Getting.
getting.
Are you getting?
are getting?
Getting.
All right. 13.
Where?
Where are you
doing?
doing?
Una rebanada de jamón a la boca y a la olla.
Where you do it.
Doing.
Okay, next.
Where?
Where.
Where are you
Hanging out.
hanging out?
Where you hanging out? All right, I'm gonna make that smaller. Okay, next.
How long have?
How long have you known your husband?
No.
No.
Right, have. Okay.
No.
No.
Oh,
Mhm.
16.
Has and made.
Has made.
Están las tarugas.
And 17.
Okay.
Has
Has your
Been?
English been going?
and going.
Has been gone.
18.
Have
Have.
Been.
Have.
you been learning?
Learning.
Learning.
Has been.
Okay, and 19.
Can you
Speak.
speak?
Can you speak?
And the last one.
Should
Should
and spend.
spend.
Very good. Are there any questions?
No.
Yes, I have a question in
Yes.
simple passing. When did you get home last night? So it's not, I don't have exactly a question in the question. So I have, my question is in the answer because I have when get home last night. So I identified and I have when it is like a time, last night time. So I have a confused in the answer for that question.
Oh,
Or maybe the question?
number 9, right?
It could be at what time did you get home?
Well, the question like that, when did you get home last night?
Yes, because I identify like a when is like a time
Yes,
and
it is.
last night is like a time.
It's a time expression.
Yes, but when is like, for example, like I got home yesterday. Or because I don't, yeah, it's not clear for me this question.
So
Or you
it's a
think it sounds a little bit weird?
repetitive.
Yes, so it
Okay.
can be like, yes, like aware or what
Yeah.
time it can be. So,
It
but
can-
Yes,
when and last
but-
night, for me, it's the same.
It can be implied that you
Yes, it can be
at that
implied, but
time.
what you can imply with this is that you can have another time expression like I got home early last night or late last night or early this morning. Another time expression as well. No, it's not enough. It's okay. Think about it like this. When did you get home? Early in the evening, early in the afternoon, early at night, or late at night? You know, one of those expressions.
Okay, so because I haven't seen this kind of questions with, I had a problem with that, but is it clear?
I was actually expecting questions about number, let me check the number, 7. That's the question that raises the most questions about the structure of it. But nobody asked me anything about it, and everybody answered correctly, so we're doing good. Okay, so perfect. Now I'm gonna send us a picture of this. What you're going to be doing is ask and answer the questions with classmates. See. Perfect. It's on the WhatsApp. Now let's go in groups. Okay. Hello, Diana. Mr. Mr. Ajax. Hello, Mr. All right. Perfect. So everybody's in teams of 3. So please, all you have to do is ask and answer the questions as quick as you can. The questions are in the WhatsApp group, so everybody has the same questions. And there will be a time limit of 3 minutes. Let's see how many questions can we go down with only 3 minutes and 3 people in each team. Are we ready? Okay, go for it. Have fun. Hello, Abigail.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine.
Perfect. Your classmates are in sessions right now. Hopefully, one more classmate can come by right now
Okay.
so that you can practice with recently arrived classmate. But do you have the homework?
Yes, actually, I received the answers that you sent in the WhatsApp group,
Yes.
and I'm checking, but I think that I'm having the same ones.
Very good.
Yes, I'm just checking the answers and. Mhm. Yes, I have the same.
Okay, I'm gonna join you with.
I just have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the number 9, because there you have, when did you get home last night? I have the same answer, but I was thinking yesterday if it is correct to use the WH when, because for me, it would be like kind of obviously like when it's connected with last night. So for me, it would be like what time maybe, or where, because for me, it's the same. So I was thinking about that yesterday, but I'm not pretty sure.
Yeah, it's actually we went over that question earlier, and basically you can answer with another time expression. For example, I got home very late last night, or I got home really early.
Okay.
Something
Okay.
like that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Got
Ed,
it.
I'm gonna send you to, because nobody's coming in, group number 3. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Now let's continue. We're going to get started with the next lesson. And this lesson is called, oh my gosh. There, problems and solutions. What do you see in
What was the title of the last lesson?
the last lesson?
Uh-huh.
Speed friending.
Speak friendly.
Yeah, friending.
Friending.
Yeah, friending with ing.
Friending. All
Yes.
right.
Now we have problems and solutions. What do you guys see in the pictures?
Some walls.
Yes, some walls. And some ways to go around that wall, right?
The
So we
easy
have-
way and the difficult way.
All right, so we may have some problems, but there will always be a solution, right? Life coaching. Do you guys know what life coaching is?
Like advices for a best way of life. Way of
Advices? Yes. It's with a counselor, like a psychologist. But it's not necessarily a psychologist. It's only for help, for advice. Do you guys have any personal problems that you'd rather not discuss with friends or family? Yes, Monica says yes. Only Monica. Yes, only
Especially
Monica.
with my son.
Monica is the
Honestly.
only brave enough to say, yes, I have a problem. All right. Not all of us like to discuss our problems. That's for sure. And the book will tell us to get some confidential advice from the online life coach. Now, what are the typical problems people don't want to talk about? Now, we're not talking about ourselves. We're talking about people in general. What are those typical problems, guys?
Marriage.
Marriage, yes.
Maybe talk about job.
Yes, the job. That's right. What else?
Personal problem.
Personal
Family problems.
Yes. Family problems. That's for sure.
Financial situation.
Financial situations. That's right. Let's listen to the audio. What you have to do is, listen and check for the problems. What problems do the people talk about? Okay, there will be 4 people talking, not at the same time. One person will be talking at a time. Okay, what you gotta do is listen for the problem and only the problem. All right?
Okay.
All right, let's begin.
Ask the life coach. Do you have a personal problem that you'd rather not discuss with friends or family? Get some confidential advice from our online life coach. Question 1.
Sometimes I think I ought to do some volunteer work in a school or a hospital, but I'm too busy just trying to make a living. I have very little free time, so I think I'd better not add anything to my schedule right now. Am I right?
Don't make excuses. You don't have to spend all your free time doing volunteer work. 3 hours a week is enough. Do some research and find an organization where you feel you can make a difference and do some good for other people.
Question 2.
My boss is a bully. He yells at me if I make a mistake, and he makes fun of me in front of my coworkers. I've tried talking to him, but it doesn't do any good. He won't listen. I guess I'm going to have to do something about this problem. But what?
It doesn't make any sense to ignore this problem, and you'd better do something quickly before it gets worse. Make an appointment with your human resources representative. You might want to take a colleague with you, too.
Question 3.
I'm meeting my girlfriend's parents for the first time next weekend. They've invited me for dinner. I'm going to do my best to make a good impression on them, but I'm really nervous. Any advice?
Make an effort to dress nicely and make sure you take them a small gift, such as flowers or chocolates. Make some nice comments about their home, the food, etc., but don't overdo it. You ought to let them do the talking at first. The most important thing, however, is just to be yourself.
Question 4.
My boss recently offered me a promotion. I've done a lot of thinking about it, but I can't make up my mind if I should take it. Sometimes I think I'd rather stay in my current job. I've got to decide by next week. What should I do?
Make a list of the pros and cons of each job and give each one a score from 1 to 5. 5 equals the best. Then do the math. Add up the points for each list and subtract the con totals from the pro totals. Which job has the highest score? Does that help you make a decision?
Okay, guys, so we have 4 problems. What is problem number 1?
So don't find volunteers for the job.
Repeat that, please.
So don't find volunteers or anybody wants to be volunteers for schools, hospitals.
So the person can't find volunteers? Something like that? The person can't find?
I think she doesn't have free time for her activities.
Now
Okay,
she's really busy, like doing activities daily, and she's worried because she wants to make a change or she wants to help others doing volunteer job or activities.
So doesn't have free time to volunteer.
Yeah, she doesn't have free time, so she feels like kind of guilty about that if it's correct to not help others because she doesn't have time.
Okay, we're going to leave it like that. 1 is can't find volunteers or doesn't have free time to volunteer. What about number 2?
He has a bully boss.
He has
a lot of problems with the boss as a trade or discussions, even that his boss yell him.
So a lot of problems with his boss. Like that?
Yes.
And
the suggestion is make an appointment to avoid something worse happen.
Oh, there you go. So that's part of the solution. Good. Yeah. That's good. What about the problem number 3?
The man will be
meeting with his girlfriend's parents.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry. The man will be
in a meeting.
In a meeting.
But he's nervous about.
In a meeting with his girlfriend's parents. They are gonna have like a dinner or something.
He's gonna meet his girlfriend's parents.
But he's nervous about it. Okay, very good. What about number 4?
It was about changing jobs. The man is not sure about staying or keep his actual job or change for another one.
The man isn't sure about it.
I think that is like a promotion, he said. Like no changing jobs, like he's gonna stay in the same place or work in the same company, but his boss gave to him a promotion. So he is like deciding if he wants to accept or not the promotion. That's why in the advice they said that he needs to evaluate pros and cons.
Yes, pros and cons.
One more time. So he got he received, he won a promotion?
He got a promotion and he has doubts about to accept it or not.
And somebody suggests him get a list of the process change it, get on a map on track for the actions that he has to take. And the last one is evaluate the job. Is what job has a high score?
Yeah, I remember that. What job has the highest score? Would somebody like to hear the audio again before we show the dialogues? Yes? All right, let's hear the audio again.
Ask the life coach. Do you have a personal problem that you'd rather not discuss with friends or family? Get some confidential advice from our online life coach. Question 1.
Sometimes I think I ought to do some volunteer work in a school or a hospital, but I'm too busy just trying to make a living. I have very little free time, so I think I'd better not add anything to my schedule right now. Am I right?
Don't make excuses. You don't have to spend all your free time doing volunteer work. 3 hours a week is enough. Do some research and find an organization where you feel you can make a difference and do some good for other people.
Question 2.
My boss is a bully. He yells at me if I make a mistake, and he makes fun of me in front of my coworkers. I've tried talking to him, but it doesn't do any good. He won't listen. I guess I'm going to have to do something about this problem. But what?
It doesn't make any sense to ignore this problem, and you'd better do something quickly before it gets worse. Make an appointment with your human resources representative. You might want to take a colleague with you, too.
Question 3.
I'm meeting my girlfriend's parents for the first time next weekend. They've invited me for dinner. I'm going to do my best to make a good impression on them, but I'm really nervous. Any advice?
Make an effort to dress nicely and make sure you take them a small gift, such as flowers or chocolates. Make some nice comments about their home, the food, etc., but don't overdo it. You ought to let them do the talking at first. The most important thing, however, is just to be yourself.
Question 4.
My boss recently offered me a promotion. I've done a lot of thinking about it, but I can't make up my mind if I should take it. Sometimes I think I'd rather stay in my current job. I've got to decide by next week. What should I do?
Make a list of the pros and cons of each job and give each one a score from 1 to 5. 5 equals the best. Then do the math. Add up the points for each list and subtract the con totals from the pro totals. Which job has the highest score? Does that help you make a decision?
Okay, now that we heard the audio for the second time, what do you think of your opinions? Number 1, don't find volunteers, doesn't have free time to volunteer.
It's the second one.
The second one. Okay.
Ask the life coach.
Right. Okay, so doesn't have free time to volunteer. Number 2, he has a lot of problems with the boss. It would be with his boss. Number 3. Yes?
Okay. It's okay.
Same. Number 4.
Have a meeting with.
All right. Now I'm going to show you the dialogue. Okay. When I show you the dialogue, I will play the audio again. I would suggest to you to read and listen at the same time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Ask the life coach. Do you have a personal problem that you'd rather not discuss with friends or family? Get some confidential advice from our online life coach. Question 1.
Sometimes I think I ought to do some volunteer work in a school or a hospital, but I'm too busy just trying to make a living. I have very little free time, so I think I'd better not add anything to my schedule right now. Am I right?
Don't make excuses. You don't have to spend all your free time doing volunteer work. 3 hours a week is enough. Do some research and find an organization where you feel you can make a difference and do some good for other people.
Question 2.
My boss is a bully. He yells at me if I make a mistake, and he makes fun of me in front of my coworkers. I've tried talking to him, but it doesn't do any good. He won't listen. I guess I'm going to have to do something about this problem. But what?
It doesn't make any sense to ignore this problem, and you'd better do something quickly before it gets worse. Make an appointment with your human resources representative. You might want to take a colleague with you, too.
Question 3.
I'm meeting my girlfriend's parents for the first time next weekend. They've invited me for dinner. I'm going to do my best to make a good impression on them, but I'm really nervous. Any advice?
Make an effort to dress nicely and make sure you take them a small gift, such as flowers or chocolates. Make some nice comments about their home, the food, etc., but don't overdo it. You ought to let them do the talking at first. The most important thing, however, is just to be yourself.
Question 4.
My boss recently offered me a promotion. I've done a lot of thinking about it, but I can't make up my mind if I should take it. Sometimes I think I'd rather stay in my current job. I've got to decide by next week. What should I do?
Make a list of the pros and cons of each job and give each one a score from 1 to 5. 5 equals the best. Then do the math. Add up the points for each list and subtract the con totals from the pro totals. Which job has the highest score? Does that help you make a decision?
Perfect. So how are your answers? So the first thing we have is number 1. Oh my gosh. I think I ought to do some volunteer work, but I'm too busy trying to. So she's just too busy, right? So she doesn't have enough free time to volunteer. Very good. What about number 2?
It's also correct because he said
My
that.
boss is a bully. He yells at me.
And make laugh.
All right. What about number 3?
I'm meeting my girlfriend's parents for the first time.
I'm really nervous. Very good. Good. And the last one, number 4.
My boss
promotion.
But I can make up my mind.
He can't decide, right? Sometimes I think I'd rather stay in my current job. There. So you have good answers. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take a look at the exercise, the activity. And what we have to do is complete the blanks with the verbs do or make. Now, this is a very easy exercise. In question number 1, the first one is given. The first blank is with the verb do. And then I'm just too busy trying to
Make.
Next.
Don't make excuses.
Don't make excuses.
Next.
Do some research.
Do some research.
Next.
Make
a difference.
And last.
Do some good.
Do. Okay. Question number 2.
Make a mistake.
Make.
3.
Makes.
Try.
Next.
Say.
Do or make.
Oh, do or make.
Do.
Yeah, it would be do. And next.
Do something.
To do something.
Continue, please. It
It
doesn't
doesn't make
Make any sense.
make. Continue.
Make.
Make an appointment.
Now let's go to question number 3.
I'm going to do my best
Do. To.
to make a good
Impression.
Any advice?
Make an effort.
Make an effort.
And make sure.
Do some nice
Comments.
You would do make.
okay.
Do the talk.
Do. Yeah, very good. Next, number 4. My boss offered me a promotion. All right, there you go. Anybody having issues with the audio, or is it me?
Only you.
Probably me. Okay. Number 4. My boss offered me a promotion. I've
Do. I have done.
All right. Yeah, we gotta take a look at the tense. I've
Done.
Hey.
I've done.
I've done. I've done a lot of thinking, but I can't.
Make
up my mind.
Okay.
A list.
Make a list.
Yeah, make a list. Next.
Do the math.
Make
Make a
Make a
decision.
decision.
Make a decision. Very good. So that's the end of this activity. Now, we have 4 suggestions for these people with problems. Of course, we have the suggestion for number 1, number 2. Oh, sorry. Number 3 and number 4. Now, which suggestion do you agree with?
Number 4.
Number 4?
Mm-hmm.
And which suggestion you don't agree with?
Well, what I don't like about the last one is all the math that he has to do. So I think it's very difficult.
To do the math. Okay, there you go.
Add and subtract, and I think that only doing the list with the pros and cons, that will be
Enough.
easier. Yes.
Okay, maybe. Okay, what about the rest of you guys? Any opinions? No? All right, let's continue with the next one. Make word webs for do and make, but we don't need to do this. What we're going to do is find expressions on the web page with the same meaning as the underlined words below. The sentence number 1 says, I should do some volunteer work. Who said that? Do you remember?
Yes, the first girl.
The first girl. Did she say this? I should do some volunteer work? Or
No.
did she say it differently?
She uses
Oughta do.
She said,
I had better. I ought to.
I ought to. I ought to do some volunteer work. What about number 2? I prefer to stay in the same job. Who said that?
Number 4.
How did he say it?
I'd
I think I'd rather stay in my current job.
I'd rather stay in my current job. Okay, what about number 3?
Have to make decisions.
Who said that?
Number 4.
Number 4. How did he say it?
I have to
I got
decide.
to decide.
I have to make a decision.
I've got to.
Got to decide.
I've got to decide. Yes. I've got to. And the last one, number 4.
Number 2.
Number 2.
That's number 2. And how did the person say it?
You'd better do.
You had better
Better
do something quickly.
You'd better do something quickly, right?
Mhm.
Good. That's what we have. Those are 4 new expressions that we're going to study. But let's see if we remember them. What is number 1?
Ought to.
Ought to.
So it would be I ought to continue.
Do.
Do
Some
some
volunteer
work.
Do some volunteer. Okay. What about number 2?
I'd rather stay.
I'd rather stay in the same job.
Is I'd rather stay in
The same job.
The same
job.
Or it's saying the current in my current job.
Yeah, but we're actually using the sentence in the activity number 2. I'd rather stay in the same
job.
Number 3.
Had better.
Number 3.
No, this is a number 4.
I've got to make a decision. Okay. Microphone is acting up. Hold on, I'm changing my mind. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, very good. And number 4. What do we have for number 4?
You'd better.
Had better.
You'd better, right? With you.
Yes.
You'd
You'd
better
better do.
something.
Something quickly. There. Now let's practice these expressions with a couple more examples. Using had better. Are you familiar with this expression? Yes, everybody? Yeah, all right. Had better implies this is a warning. If you do not, something bad may happen. Now, this is not simple past or past perfect. The complete expression is for suggestion. That is a suggesting expression. Okay. So you can say, I had better, you had better, he had better, she had better, etc. And once again, it's not a time tense. It's a suggestion expression for something very important. Like the example right that we have here. You had better not drive in the snow. What this means is that if you drive in the snow, you may have an accident. Or the next example that says, you had better submit your homework. Because if you don't, the teacher may deduct points. Or you had better stop smoking. If you continue smoking, you will become ill. So that is had better. Another expression we have is ought to. It's an advice, another suggestion. To suggest an action or to show that it is necessary. You ought to revise your lessons. And it goes together. Ought to. And of course, after the preposition to, the verb goes in simple form. Ought to revise. Margaret ought to exercise more. It is also used for probability. Our team ought to win this match for today. Or she ought to receive the package tonight. The next expression we have, these are more common. Should, but we also have in the same category, ought to, and another similar, might want to. Again, it's a complete expression, might want to. Should is when you think it's a good idea. All right, I need to write that down. And ought to when something's necessary. And might want to is when you have the feeling or when you think it's a suggestion. Okay, now they have a degree. Ought to is a little heavier. Ought to is a bit strong. So it will depend on your intention, on what your message is. The examples I have here, invite your friend to my party. Okay, if you think it's a good idea, well, then you use should. But if it's necessary, then perhaps you need to use a different expression. Instead of should, if it's necessary, you might want to use ought to. We ought to invite your friend to my party. And if it's only a suggestion, you might want to invite your friend to my party. On the next example, buy some soda if you have money. Once again, it depends on your intention, on what your message is, if it's something important or it's only a good idea. So you can also say, we should buy some soda. Or you can also say, you might want to buy some soda. It will always depend on what your intention is. I must and I have to. Also, I've got to and I'm going to have to. All of these are for obligations. I must fix my bicycle. I have to take care of my sister's pet. I must make birthday cake for my mother. Whatever your obligation is. So the most common expressions are I must and I have to. But they are also common to say I've got to or I'm going to have to. Can I go to the next slide? Prefer and would rather. Of course, the verb prefer is pretty self-explanatory. And another verb that we can use is would rather. when we use the verb prefer, I prefer, and then we have the verb of preference, like go, we always use the preposition to. I prefer to go by car. But with rather, it goes alone without the preposition to. It goes directly straight attached to the verb. I'd rather go by car. Would you rather have tea or coffee? Would you rather have? In negative, I'm tired. I'd rather not go out. Do you want to go out? I'd rather not. Or I'd rather not do it myself. Note the structure. I'd rather do something than do something else. Of course, that's in a comparative sentence. Now we have a little section with what's advisable, necessary, and preferable. When it's advisable, of course, when it's a bit strong, only a little strong, you can say you'd better or better not, ought to, and might want to. You'd better do something quickly. I'd better not add anything to my schedule. I ought to do some volunteer work. You ought to let them do the talking, etc. If it's necessary, I'm going to have to, I've got to, and you don't have to. And preferable. I'd rather not. Do you guys have any questions? No? We're going to do so much. Yes, Diana?
Only in my 1, 2 is all the phrase, no?
Yes.
I mean, that is together.
Yes,
right?
that is together.
I cannot change the verb.
Verb one? No, because if you change the verb, then you're not expressing a suggestion. It will be a different expression, a different message.
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions? Now I will have all the expressions in the next.
What's advisable? What's advisable?
I have an example here, okay? This is only for to practice, for everybody to practice. In this picture, I have this man that says that I can't find a job to pay my bills. Is this a problem that once or twice you've heard with your friends or classmates? Have you ever heard this problem? I can't find a job to pay my bills.
Yes.
Yeah? From your friends? From one of your friends? What did you say? What did you respond? Did you give a suggestion? No? I have the expressions right here. It's better not, ought to, might want to, going to have to, got to, don't have to, rather, and rather not. Now, what is your opinion? What does this man have to do? And you can give your complete suggestion with one of the expressions. Would you like an example? Yes. Let me see. So the lady can respond.
Or I could say, you ought to apply for something you are good.
Yes. For a job you are good at, something like that. What about that? You like that? Yes. Another opinion, guys?
You are going to have to search in another different place or platform.
Continue, please. You're going to have to search.
In a in another app.
App?
Where you can find jobs like OCC or something like that.
That's good. That's good. Another suggestion, guys.
You'd better not spend much money.
Yeah, you'd better not spend a lot of money. Yes. Another one. One more.
It could be like you ought to give private classes until you find something.
Until you
find something else.
Those are excellent ideas. Very good. And that's what you have to do. I'm going to show you another picture with a different problem. All you have to do is think of 2 suggestions, okay? Once you think of your 2 suggestions, you start sharing with your classmates, okay? There. Think of 2 suggestions.
May I say one idea? You ought to go outside and shout.
Yeah, it works. That works. Thank you. Somebody else? Yeah, go ahead.
You might want to find someone for tutoring.
Yeah.
You ought to ask for an explanation.
Yeah, that's good. Anything else?
You'd rather not to get desperate.
Can you repeat that, Monica, please?
You'd rather not to get desperate.
Desperate.
Desperate?
Desperate.
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 Okay, remember that with rather, you don't need the preposition to.
Oh,
You'd rather
right.
not get,
Yeah.
You'd rather not get desperate.
Okay, no.
Yeah, that's good. Anything else, guys?
Okay.
No? Another picture.
You
Yeah, go ahead.
You might want to relax and then you can try one more time.
Yeah, that helps too. Okay, I'll show you a different picture, okay? It's only story, okay? It's not real.
Get a gun.
You should. You better focus on your classes and forget your girlfriend. Get another.
One more time, can you repeat? Those were 2 suggestions. Can you separate them?
I say that forget your girlfriend and get another girl.
What is the expression?
You better.
You better, okay. Thank you, Patricia. Somebody
You
else?
had better make a purge.
You had better make a what?
Purge. Una purga.
Birch.
Teacher,
it?
well, it was correct, my pronunciation. Porch.
Birch? Yes.
Oh, just now.
Yes.
You might want to take a break.
Yeah.
You must breathe deeply.
Yes. That's right. That's right. All right. Now, I want you to look at the picture and think of a problem.
Think about a problem.
Yes.
But
Smile, I don't think she
yes,
has a problem.
I think that she doesn't have any problems.
Maybe not. What about not a problem, but just something
She's falling in
trivial?
love.
Some like what?
She's falling in love.
She's falling in love. Ah, there you go, ladies. So David
It's
a
says
problem.
falling
It's a
in love. Now, what suggestions do you have for her?
She seems a success girlfriend.
She seems like a successful girlfriend.
She seems like a success girl.
Successful girl. Yeah. And let's go with David's comment. David said she's falling in love. Do you have any suggestions for her?
I'm
No
going to say
But falling in
has
love
to
is not a
run.
problem. The problem it would be if she, if the guy doesn't pay attention to her, I think.
Or maybe like you should be more focused on academic success than in your relationship.
That's good.
Yes,
But you said you use the
I
most
thought
common
the
one.
same.
You should. Can you use one of the new ones?
You may want be more focused on your academic life than in a relationship.
Yeah, well, you might want, you need the preposition too. You might want to. Yeah, you might want to. That's good. Might want to focus. Perfect. Another suggestion, ladies and gentlemen.
You ought to go slow with your relationship.
Very good, Patricia. Yes. You ought to go slow. Another one. That's it? Okay. Another picture. An easier one. Okay.
He forgot the anniversary.
Can you repeat that, please, Diana?
Yeah, he forgot their anniversary.
Their anniversary. Oh my goodness. Any suggestions for the man?
He
has another girlfriend.
He has. Oh no, that's not a suggestion.
He's apologizing.
He's apologizing, but what suggestions can you give him?
He ought to give her more flowers.
Ah, there you go.
He ought to cook for a week.
A big meal, a big dinner, romantic dinner.
No,
He might not.
She should give her a lot of money.
Oh, he could give her?
He should.
All right, you can say he ought to, or he has got to.
Well, I said should.
Yeah, I know, but I'm asking you
Oh,
if
yeah.
you can use
It
one of the
ought-
new
yeah.
expressions.
Okay. He ought to give a lot of money.
Give her a lot
Give
of money.
her a lot of money.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes. He's
She
going to
shouldn't
have to.
believe in her boyfriend.
And that's for her, huh? She shouldn't believe in her boyfriend.
Yes.
All right.
She's
With the
very,
new expression,
she's very disappointed him.
she's very disappointed. Now, what suggestions do you have for her? She ought to. She might want to.
You better not reject him. Give him another opportunity.
she'd better, right? She'd better not reject him.
Better not reject him and give
She might
another
want to.
opportunity.
Yeah, she might want. Yes. You see? That's a good suggestion.
Here rather,
No.
rather be more comprehensive
That's for who? For the lady or for the gentleman?
for the lady. She rather be more comprehensive. Is that
Okay.
correct?
Yeah. All right. Let's go for another one. Yes. Ready?
Yep.
She forgot to wash the clothes.
She forgot to do the laundry. Oh my goodness.
Do the laundry.
Okay, so what suggestions do you have for her? She ought to. She might want to.
She
has
ought to
to-
buy new
She
clothes.
she
ought-
may
She might
not
to.
want to
should.
drink a lot.
She has to relax.
She ought to relax. Yes.
She
She
should buy
better
meditate.
she should buy new clothes.
Good. Now a different expression instead of should. A new expression.
Ought to.
Ought to.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I am a little bit confused with has got to. The meaning is this similar to have to?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And also is the same. Has got to, has to, and going to have to. They are the same.
Thanks. So you can use the three of them in the
Yes.
same, or is for a specific?
No, the three of them mean the same. They are the
Okay.
same thing.
Thank you.
All right, now look at this picture. I can share with you. I'm going to have to watch this movie. I have got to watch Spider-Man 3. Yes?
He has got to watch the movie.
Yes. I've got to watch the movie. Now, the movie is better have the 3 Spider-Mans in it.
It would be like Marvel must give to the audience the multiverse.
Yes. With must, of course. What about has got to? Marvel has got
Marvel
to give
has got to give the audience or the fans the
yeah,
multiverse.
the multiverse. Perfect. There you go. Now here I have this little activity. Complete the conversations with problems and solutions. Then practice. There is no storyline. You don't have to decipher what the problem is. You have to imagine the problems and the solutions. Okay? I'm gonna send you this screenshot. I'm gonna send it on the WhatsApp group. And you're going to do it in Teams. There. Now let's go in Teams. There. Go ahead. Complete the questions and answers in 3 minutes. Let's have 3 minutes for this, okay? And I'll see you when you come back. Have fun. And ladies, you're finished too, right? And
Yes.
everybody's back now. Yep, everybody's back. Perfect. Okay. Did everybody finish?
Yes.
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 Does anybody have any question?
No.
It was easy.
Yes.
That's good. That's awesome. Okay, now most of you guys will have different answers. What you're going to do is basically just compare your answers by completing your sentences. For example, number one, let's see, Michelle, number one, please.
I ought to study tonight, but I would rather go out.
There. Now, who has a good answer for Michelle?
Me. Well,
Go ahead.
You know, I think you better study because you have an exam tomorrow.
Very good. That's what you have to do. Okay. Now let's see who has, let's see, Monica, what do you have for number two?
I couldn't do that one because it
No?
was when my internet connection went off.
What about Adriana? Adriana, do you have number two?
Yes. I've got to make up my mind if I want to finish the university.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Um,
Who has a good answer for Adriana? Yes, mister, go ahead.
Okay, that's a hard decision to make. You might want to study a lot.
Yeah, you might want to. All right. Now, it's a little difficult to pair you up with a different classmate because sometimes it doesn't give me the a clear view. So there, I changed the pairs. If you have the same classmate, please let me know so I can move you, okay? Yes, all right, let's go, please.
Mr. Jesus, are we going to ask the same questions?
Just practice, actually. Just go one on one. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, mister.
Nobody is in my room.
Adriana is there now. Can you go back or you don't know how?
Yeah.
Nothing happens?
No, nothing.
Okay, let me see.
It doesn't appear nothing.
I'm gonna send you to a different group.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, Adriana.
Oh.
Hi. Adriana Diaz is waiting for you there now.
Oh. So
Can you go back?
I don't know how.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna send you two invitations. Ignore the first one, please.
Okay. I was by myself, so I said
I
I'm
know
just gonna...
it sometimes it takes a little while for the internet connection to establish.
So I joined to the...
Yes, I sent you another
profile.
invitation. Can you
Okay.
go to that one?
Okay. We're back.
Welcome back, everybody. Now that took a little long because some of the internet connections are giving us a little bit of a hassle, but we managed to work everything. Yeah, did we work everything?
Yes.
Yes. All right. The most important topic of this lesson is the expression had better. It is widely used and sometimes, actually most of the times, is one question that gets missed by the student, by the person who takes the exam. So it's important for you to keep in mind these expressions. They will be used in the tricky questions. Had better, yeah, you've got to, you have got to, you're going to have to. Yes, so yes, go ahead, Abigail.
I just have like a short question because we were like doing the activity in teams, but in the number 3, Ajax, I think that he said like, I ought to make an effort to training, but I said train, and then I was thinking training, train. I'm a little bit confused, but I think that is train because it's a verb, right? In this
right,
sentence, we need to change it into a verb.
Into a verb, that's correct.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the sentence one more time?
I ought to make an effort to train every day.
Yes, to train every day, correct. After the preposition, to our verb goes in simple form.
And it would be possible if we said like to do exercise. Or to do training that exists. I don't know. Just to see if the possibilities.
You can say, yeah, the possibilities are you can do with the expression ought to.
Yeah, like I ought to make an effort to.
You can say do exercise, do some training.
Okay,
you ought to train. You ought to work out.
Okay,
I
said do exercise or training, or the training is a wrong way, right?
Yeah, no, it's correct if you put some, right?
Some with the verb do. You ought to do
some training.
Yes.
All right. But not
the
with a preposition. Not directly with a preposition.
Not directly, yes, not directly.
All right.
But the verb not directly to the preposition. If after the preposition you have another clause, that's a different topic, okay?
All right. So that's a big skill. If you have an exam to complete the blanks, if you see the preposition to, you cannot use the verb in ing.
Only if it's a different clause. If it's a complete different clause, it's a different topic, but don't worry about it. Right now, we're only talking about suggestions. If you see a suggestion is to do an activity, to take action. So when you talk about take action, yes, you are to do verb.
All right, thanks.
You're very welcome. Any other questions, guys?
Yes, me.
Go
so
ahead.
I want to is the same that might.
One more time, please.
Might want to is the same that might. That just might.
No, that just might is not a suggestion. The complete suggestion expression is you might want to, he might want to, they might want to. So the complete expression is might want to.
That is like should.
It's like should, yes.
Ah, okay.
Like should.
How could I understand might want to? How could I understand?
Might want to, it's a very soft way to say, I think you better do this. For example, with the exam that you guys are going to take, okay? I can tell you, you have to study a lot, but that's a little strong, okay? It's a little pushy or bossy. In a friendly way, in a very polite way, the expression would say, you might want to study a lot. It's a very friendly way to say what you have to do.
All right.
Any other question, guys? No? Okay. And keep your heads up. If this was an easy class, I hope it was. We're building the base for the most higher level classes, okay?
All right.
All right. So it will be a little more challenging in the future. So how was the class, guys?
Good.
Yes, perfect.
Fine.
Good night.
Refreshing.
Yes, it's good, right? Especially the practice.
We explore another expressions as a verb.
Awesome. That's good to hear. Adriana, how did you feel? Adriana Martinez.
Good.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right. I didn't hear you as much this time.
Well, because I'm just hearing my new
No.
classmates.
No, you can participate as well, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. It was a great class. Thank you for attending. I will be sending you a little piece of homework later on this evening, and we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
guys. Have a
teacher.
great night.
Have a nice
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.